That Nintendo Direct was freaking awesome. I ended up missing it. I didn't watch it live, unfortunately, because I wasn't around. I had to do a bit of work, but I did catch up with it, and they showed some really cool games. Well, three which stood out the most to me that I just wanted to touch on. That's Metroid Prime 4, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and Mario and Luigi Brothership. I consider myself to be a Metroid Prime fan. As a matter of fact, this is my original copy I bought as a young kid for the GameCube. Back then, it was awesome to be able to play Metroid in 3D, and it was at a locked 60 frames per second. Not only that, but if you had a copy of Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance, you could hook up your Game Boy Advance to the GameCube and unlock the Fusion skin for Metroid Prime and a few other cool little things, which was very cool at the time. 2 years later, we got the sequel, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, also for the GameCube, and this is also my original copy. Then Metroid Prime 3 released on the Nintendo Wii. I never had a Wii, so I've actually never played this game, but I did end up picking it up recently for a pretty good price, so I look forward to playing it at some point. Maybe I'll play it right before Metroid Prime 4 releases. Prime 4 was first revealed in 2017. That was 7 years ago by Nintendo. It had a lot of us hyped because, Metroid fans feel underserved by Nintendo, so to see Prime 4 in development, it was huge. But then 2 years later, disappointment struck because Nintendo canceled the development of the game. They weren't happy with it, and they were going to reset development and give it to Retro Studios, which is good news because Retro Studios was the original creator of Metroid Prime. And so we come to today's reveal trailer. And I mean, the music in the trailer, it's very nostalgic for me. Take a listen. The trailer begins with Samus's ship landing in an alien research facility of some sort, and she pops out of the ship, does her backflips, and then lands like Iron Man. Very iconic for Metroid Prime, followed by an updated theme. It sounds like they added some vocals. The older games were more synthesized. I like it, actually. So this area here seems to be in the beginning of the game because all we have is just missiles. And there's quite a lot going on. And then here, they introduce us to the scanning ability. And looks like this is a fallen space pirate. These are classic enemies that you fight in the Metroid Prime games. But the scanning ability is pretty cool because in the previous game, it was a way to tell the story and the narrative of the game. But the way Retro Studios designed it was so that you could just ignore it if you didn't care about the story and you just wanted to play the game and have fun. Or you could scan bits and pieces. So looks like we're fighting pirates here, and then we have what looks to be like a head pirate that's controlling Metroids. That could be very interesting. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, coming in 2025. I can't wait. Very excited about this. Now, the next game I'm very excited about, and this might be a surprise to some of you who follow my channel. I mostly make PC gaming and hardware videos. I quite like the Mario and Luigi games. They're very nostalgic for me. As a matter of fact, I do have pretty much all of them except for one, Paper Jam, which from what I hear is supposed to be the weakest in the series. But I do have nostalgia for these games, and I've had conversations with people. I wonder if Nintendo will ever make another Mario and Luigi game. And this is a new Mario and Luigi game. It's not a remake, although I would have settled for a remake at this point. So it's really nice to see that Nintendo made a new Mario and Luigi game, because a lot of new people will be introduced to the series with this game, which is great. And it's just a lot of wholesome fun, right? I mean, that's kind of what gaming's all about. And the graphical art style, the cel shaded, looks really, really nice. It's timeless. This game will look good for many, many years to come. And it looks to be a lot of fun. You got your typical silly humor. You have your interactive combat, trying to time your attacks properly using both Mario and Luigi. Defensive, offensive, even travel in the world. You use both brothers and their abilities. So yeah, I do enjoy these games. But yeah, this is Mario and Luigi Brothership. Comes November 7th, 2024. So many games coming later this year. It's going to turn out to be a very busy time. The next and last game I'm very, very excited about, although we'll cover a couple honorable mentions, if you will, is a brand new Zelda game called Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. And this one's quite interesting. Well, first of all, it seems to be using the same graphical art style as the remake for Link's Awakening, which, interestingly enough, was the very first Zelda game I ever played back on the Game Boy Color. Now, I very much enjoyed the remake of Link's Awakening. However, it did have some frame rate issues on the Switch at launch, so I do have some concerns about this game. But how this one differs from any other Zelda game is that here you actually play as Zelda. And I know, these days, when they switch protagonists in this way, I know it makes many of us nervous, but I have no worries with Nintendo when it comes to this. And also, I feel playing as Zelda gives the developers more freedom on how to approach combat or how you explore the game. And that's exactly what Nintendo's done here. Now, the premise of the game is, well, Thanos has shown up to Hyrule and snapped his finger and made a bunch of people disappear, including Link. So right in the beginning, he goes to save Zelda. She's entrapped in this crystal, and then he gets absorbed into this like pool of shadow, which leaves Zelda by herself to defend her kingdom. So you essentially have this like staff, magical staff, that allows you to replicate objects, more like an illusion spell, right? If you play Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of what it is. And you're able to learn how to make illusions of different stuff, and then you can use that to navigate the world, like you're seeing here. You can create crates, you can create a lot of things. Another cool thing they show here is, well, the combat. There's got to be combat in a Zelda game, right? Even if you play as Zelda. However, you can actually make copies of enemies as well, and then pull them out like Pokemon to fight for you. So that is really cool. That is one thing that I admire about Nintendo, is that they tend to innovate. If they're going to release another game, they try to do something new with it. And you can see that from whether it be Breath of the Wild, which, you know, made the open world genre blow up, and then with their sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, which I've yet to beat, but I've put like 50 hours in it, you know, with the, the merging abilities, the gluing of different stuff. And that's kind of what they've tried to do here as well. Introduce this cool mechanic that I'm actually very excited to see how it works and what you can do with it. I reckon it's going to be pretty cool. Now, these are the 3 games I'm most excited about. But there was some honorable mentions that I want to talk about, and these games will be on other platforms as well. The makers of Danganronpa are apparently releasing a brand new game called The 100 Line. So that was revealed on the Nintendo Direct. It looked kind of interesting. Now, Danganronpa is like a murder mystery type of game. I guess it falls under the visual novel category, maybe. Not sure. I actually bought the Nintendo Switch collection. It was released in a cart. There's a lot of games in it, and I've been probably going to get into it at some point because I do like murder mysteries. There's definitely a place for them, but this one looked very interesting, and it's something that I'm sure a lot of people are probably looking forward to, that deserves, because I like seeing new games be released, not just sequels. The next game that looked kind of interesting was Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. I never played any of the Romancing Saga games, but I've heard good things about them. And I believe there was a remastered version of this. It was originally a Super Famicom game, or a Famicom game. I'm not entirely sure. But this one's going to be an HD remake of the game. So I think there's a lot of people that are excited about this. It does look like something that I would want to play, and I might check it out at some point. This one comes out October 24th for the Switch, PC, and PlayStation. No Xbox for some reason. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely the type of game I would love to play Probably on my Steam Deck or maybe the Switch. I don't know. But it looks kind of interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are excited about this. I have Saga Frontier for the PlayStation 1. I picked up in a game hunt a while back. Never played it. I'm not sure if it's related, but the font kind of looks similar, so I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. Again, it's not a new game, but you know, remakes of older games is cool. I do like that because it doesn't take away from the old game. You know, even if the remake is something that many players don't like, you still have the original to go back to if you wanted to. And then you also have the remake because let's face it, new players, new people, new gamers are not going to really get into like old Super Nintendo or Nintendo games. They just aren't. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like these remakes, I feel, introduce more people to like really cool games that, you know, were quite innovative in their time or that may have a very good story. So yeah, this one is cool and interesting. The next game that looked really interesting was Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Now, this wasn't like a world premiere or anything. We knew this was coming. We had seen a trailer before, but they revealed a lot more here. Also, they revealed the date, November 14th, 2024. So it's coming this year. November, a very busy month for games. Personally, I don't have any nostalgia for this game. The only Dragon Quest game I ever played was Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, and that was a great game, great music. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a great JRPG. I've heard very good things about these games, so I'm looking forward to playing this one. However, I heard it's supposed to cost $60. I would pay $60 if it had the HD 2D remake of 1 and 2, which are supposed to come next year. But $60 just for 3, personally, I'm not going to pay that. I'll just wait until it's on sale for maybe $40. Never really in a hurry to play any single-player game, if I'm being honest, except for some. But yeah, this one will be coming November 14th, 2024, with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remakes coming 2025. The next game they showed, well, it's not a game, it's a Capcom collection of Marvel vs. Capcom games, including the Punisher beat 'em ups. And so I believe these are arcade games. Unfortunately, it's not going to have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which I have here, and apparently it's very expensive these days to purchase physical form, nor is it going to have Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But other than that, it looks to be a very solid collection that's unfortunately not going to be on Xbox either for some reason. But the Capcom collections of games are awesome. They do a really good job. They pack in artwork and a lot of cool things, soundtracks, and I love the Capcom collections of games. But yeah, these are the ones that stood out to me, with Metroid Prime being my most anticipated game, Mario and Luigi, and Zelda. I don't know, what you guys think? Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? Are you going to get any of these games? Let me know down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.